This summer, Book TV is asking, what are you reading?
Susan Weinberg, publisher of PublicAffairs Books. What's on your summer reading list?
Well, the first book on my list is a real change of pace for me because we publish nonfiction and I read a lot of nonfiction. But I would really hope this summer I get to read The Master by Colm Toibey. It's a book that I know the publisher, and she gave me a copy, and she gives me a copy of a book. Very often we trade books and we, talk about each other's books. But when she found out I hadn't gotten around to reading that one, she was quite vexed. And I thought, boy, publisher believes in the book that much, I do have to read it. I also just read, and am going to read another one of our books this summer, that we happen to have two books coming out that are wonderful looks at the Islamic world. One is called Destiny Disrupted, The History of the World Through Islamic Eyes, and it is by Tamim Ansari, and it's a wonderful narrative history of we all know the Western narrative, the ancient Greeks, the Romans. Well, this is the Islamic world's narrative. And then how in the 19th century they came to clash so tragically. And I loved every word of that, and I read the book and recommended it to my reading group, which I also rarely do as a publisher, but they are loving it too. So we're going to be discussing it next month. Another book in that vein is by Neil McFarquhar, who's the New York Times United Nations bureau chief now. He's had other jobs. I had to think for a minute because for 20 years he reported in the Mideast. He was the Cairo bureau chief. He's reported on Islam in the U.S. And Neil actually grew up as an oil brat in Libya. And he came back to this country for college and decided he wanted to go back and learn Arabic and really understand this area with this land where he had grown up. And he's written a wonderful book. The Media Relations Department of Hezbollah wishes you a happy birthday. And I've read some of that book as Neil was developing it, but alas, wasn't the editor and didn't have time to read the whole thing yet. But I loved so much what I read that I've decided I really want to give the whole thing a great read, and I love hearing what people are saying and talking about that book. And the third book that I have to admit has been next to my bedside many a summer, but maybe this is the summer when I'll finally read The Power Broker by Robert Caro, his book on Robert Moses. It is something I've wanted to read for a long time, and it is the kind of book where you need a nice summer month to find the time to read it.
To see more summer reading lists and other program information, visit our website at booktv.org.